Oh Lord, please bless this mess. And in spite of this mess, I really am blessed. So I'm going to invite you to my mess, because there are enough people that love perfection and can manage perfection, but I'm not one of them. So this is my creative space. And when I walked in here this morning with my cup of tea, I just began to thank God for my space, because I didn't always have this space. I remember one time seeing a video from, I think it Uniquely Ella, and she has this big space for her crafts, and I had made a comment to her that, oh, I wish that I had a space like that. And she said, you know, it took me a long time, and she said, someday you will. And I do have a space now, and I have this little cutie here who's my little shadow, right, Zebby B? You my little shadow? And I'm very thankful for him. And I'm mostly thankful because I get to be here, stay here at home, and I get to enjoy my space. So why do I get so upset about perfection? I don't know. I am not gonna use that as an excuse to not take care of my space. That's what I'm doing today. I'm tidying up, and I'm organizing in a way that makes sense for me to organize. It might not make sense to somebody else to look at it, but for me, it's going to make sense. And then as soon as I get it all nice and tidy and organized, I'll mess it up again, because as soon as I get going on my crafts, this is Thanksgiving. I have girls too. But as you know, if you follow me at all, this is my Brad in my Etsy shop, and more, I use it more, is eBay. It's Bradsboots. And I talked about him before, and I will always talk about him and Jessica. Because they're two of my kids who are in heaven. And Jessica's picture was in this frame that fell, and I haven't fixed it yet. And both of them, their departure left me with, as you can imagine, a lot of sadness. And so I wrote a book, Truth Be Told, A Mother's Raw Grief. And that's on Amazon. And it's my story. And it's about how to handle grief and how I handle grief. And so this room right here was the beginning of how I handled grief. This room, which was a cute little den, it was very pretty and cute, and one day I moved a few things in here. I think it was my sewing machine I moved in here, and then I made a quilt. And then I decided that I didn't want to make quilts the way I used to want to make quilts. Hi, Princess. Oh, she actually looked up. This is my husband's cat, Princess. She likes to stay on the outskirts, as you can see. So this room became my therapy room. And I learned how to distract myself from my sadness. That's my Michael, and there's my Brad, the last Thanksgiving that we had together with him. And I found this postcard, and as you can see, the guy is peeling potatoes, and this is like my favorite picture, because Brad said, "Hey Mama, what do you want me to do to help?" And my kids always had a chore. I always gave them chores, and they didn't like it. But he was volunteering, and Michael was volunteering too that day, and it was sweet. So this is, again, how I discovered that I can move away from sadness and move into a little bit of joy. And I didn't believe that I deserved joy. I didn't want joy. It's not that I didn't deserve it. I just didn't want it. I didn't want to be happy. I wanted to just feel the pain, because I felt, when I felt the pain, I felt my kids. And when I came in here and I started moving into this room, at first my husband was not too happy with me because I took over the whole space. And over here I have clothes that I'm altering for somebody. And I took over this space, and I think he saw that it was helping to heal me. And so he backed off and let me alone. So this space, as messy as it is, and within, I want to say 2.5 years, I've filled it with all of this stuff. Like, this stuff wasn't here. I've just filled it with all of these different things that I've learned, crocodiles and sentiments, and using gloves for glue, and double-sided tape, and coffee-dyed paper, and recently embossed Cuttlebug, and then cereal-lined protection paper for painting, and then painting rags, and hole punchers, and clear gesso. I mean, I didn't know what any of that was before. And Mod Podge. I think I did know what Mod Podge was. But washi tape. I always saw washi tape in the stores. And I looked at them and I used to think, what do people do with that? It's really pretty, but what do people do with it? And my stencils. I lose things all the time. I lost my rose stencils. So now I decided to clothespin them up right where I will see them all the time, and I won't lose them. I bought this jar of buttons. I didn't know why. I used to see laces, and I collected laces for different sewing things, but I never knew what I was going to do with them until I learned that's my family. When they were all here, all 7, and my husband. That was a few years ago. So, as I bounce from one topic and subject to the other, I just feel so thankful that I have this mess that is truly blessed. And I want to share it with people, which is why I do the YouTube videos too, because I like to share. I have a Facebook page that I just put together. I don't know all that much about putting together marketing strategies and how to draw people into my space, the people that want to be here because they enjoy the craft, not the people that are just trolling along. And I don't know, I get a lot of that. people that don't even, I don't know what they're doing on my Instagram page, to tell you the truth, but I want to be connected to the community of people that are enjoying this. And I do admit that sometimes I get bogged down, just like the rest of us, with the most popular girls, because there's a lot of popular girls, and then there's me. And that's how I've always been anyways. I've not been a popular girl, so it shouldn't be anything new to me. But it's kind of funny how those old high school feelings can come back at you, because when you see somebody else doing the same kinds of things that you do, and they're getting, their views are blown up, then you see that they've gotten like 1,000 views in like 2 hours, and I've made a video and it's been on YouTube for a year, and I've got, if I'm lucky, I've got like 100 views. So I have to back away from that and realize, why am I doing this? Because I like to share, and I want to connect with the community that's doing the same things as me, which is the journaling. And I don't just journal like most of us. That's the thing that I love about this. Like I did that painting. I was trying, that was my first outlet, I have to say. That was my first outlet. I was trying to learn how to paint, and I couldn't perfect it the way I wanted it to. So I was so thankful to find junk journaling, because with junk journaling, the messy are sometimes like you have one end of the spectrum to the other. You have grunge, which is so messy and dirty looking, and it seems like the more dirtier and ancient it looks, the better it looks. And then you have mixed media, which I just finished this mixed media page, and it's like the more messier you get all over it, the better it is. And then you have like your really cool Victorian, let's see my stash here, my digitals, like these digitals that are just like so sweet and calming, and the old wallpaper, one extreme to the other. And then I did this one digital of myself, which again, I'm not tech savvy, but I still like to try things. I always say, as long as it's legal, I'll try it. Well, mostly. It's fun, the fun stuff. So this is fun. I don't know, I am rambling. This is a vlog, and if you didn't want to watch it, I'm sure you've already clicked off, so it's all good. But I guess when I walked into this room this morning and sat down with my cup of tea, this mess is really blessed. I have to get it a little more organized, but I can still enjoy it the way that it is. That's the great thing. And I'm really thankful that God has blessed me with this mess. And because it's recently Christmas time, thanking God that He sent Jesus for our gift, and what all that entails, thanking Him that I understand, I unwrapped that gift of Jesus, and I know what that means. And so I'm thankful for that, and just thankful again for this space, and most of all, thankful for this. This is my word of the year, which I think I've had it as my word of the year almost every year, but it really is my word of the year. Now, if you're still with me, write a word of the year in the comment section if you would play along with me to read your word of the year. So if you are still with me, I am hoping that once I get this room a little more organized, that I'll do an after. This is my before. There may never be an after because I do not keep it clean long enough to even have an after. But usually when it's clean, that means that nothing's going on in here. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one.